the
Right.
last guy who's currently not injured, but is currently injured in terms of pitching, and it's Mr. Shohei Ohtani, who is your starting pitcher, number 8. Some people may have just forgotten that he's also an elite starting pitcher. Why 8 for Shohei Ohtani?
Again, 30% plus strikeout rate, elite ratios, winning ball club. And yes, he probably will go less than others if they're all healthy, just because the Dodgers, I imagine, will also instill that 6-man rotation. So he
Yeah.
goes every 6 or 7 days because you do have Yamamoto in there still. You still have, of course, Ohtani. You still have, you have Glasnow as well, who they want a baby, all 3 of them, and try as hard as they can to get them healthy for October. It is kind of hilarious that they're doing what they're doing. While having essentially a full rotation on the IL still.
Yeah.
But with Shohei Ohtani, again, he's absurdly good. And what's actually kind of nuts to me is how bad his four-seamer performs. 40% ICR is kind of wild for that pitch, 13% overall swing strike rate. I would have thought more from a pitch that is 97 miles per hour for Ohtani, but because he gets 7 feet of extension, he only gets 13 inches of IVB. He's a very bad IVB pitcher. Again, shocking to me. Has decent VAA, so he does get on the side of the ball with the release point, but I'm just really surprised by it, and that really should explain why you don't get more than a 13% swing strike rate for Ohtani's four-seamer last time we saw it. But that sweeper is just absurdly good, and the cutter mixed in with it has been fantastic for him. That is really the the makeup of Ohtani, and actually I could even say the cutter can be even better than what it has been if it maybe comes in a little bit harder as more of a 91 or 92 kind of limited movement as opposed to the more slider-esque version that he's been throwing.
Yeah, I have him 10 right now. You're picking nits between 8 and 10, right? We know that he's an elite starting pitcher. There are, yes, the innings concerns just because of limiting him, not necessarily because of the fact that will be injured, right? He's another guy who there was even talk that he could throw in the postseason, and while that has not, come to fruition, I think it gives us a sense of his overall health. I would draft him with confidence, and again expect some, fewer innings maybe than he pitched with the Angels.
If there weren't many elite starters, I wouldn't be leaning as heavily into this.
Right.
But the depth of starting pitcher is, I mean, it's crazy, but I feel like every single season we're saying how deep starting pitching is. And there are my teams, your teams probably, who lost a lot of their early starters this past year in 2024, and we still made playoff runs and won their leagues. I drafted Spencer Strider and Justin Steele, only 2 pitchers in the first 10 rounds, and I lost Steele for half of the year essentially, and I won that league. And that's really showcasing that, hey, go for this, go for the actual talent, and the idea that you get nothing out of the injured list spot from these guys is wrong. You might actually get them injured at the right time, that you all of a sudden now pick up Spencer Schwellenbach or so to fill it out, right? Don't get this idea that this one roster spot is only the 100 innings that you get from DeGrom or Ohtani or whatever that happens to be. So it's worth your time in 12 teamers to take this gamble.